For more than 20 years, CTV has captured the moments that matter in our community. From our studios in St. Clair, you're watching Focus with Paul Dingeman.
And I am the aforementioned Paul Dingeman. Welcome to another edition of the Focus program. Glad to have you along. August is moving along, and part of that is excitement in the Palmer Park, and we're going to hear about that with Pat O'Connor. Welcome back to the Focus Show.
Hi, Paul.
Nice to see you. How's your summer going?
Oh, busy. Grandchildren, you know.
Yeah, I've heard of them. I've heard of them.
Yes,
and they cause a lot of joy.
Lots of joy and lots of food that has left my house.
You are wearing a number of hats when you walk in the door today.
I am.
One of them is with the City of St. Clair's Jazz Festival.
Yes.
And the other one was with Habor Impact.
Yes.
So I want to hear about both of them. Let's start with the Jazz Festival.
All right, the Jazz Festival is coming up on Saturday, August 21st. And for people who have been watching the development of the Jazz Festival, will understand when I say it's not the normal Jazz Festival because we're still creeping out of the pandemic.
Yep.
And so this would be Jazz Festival Light. However, we're calling it an evening of jazz.
Okay.
It's on the 21st from 5 till 8 o'clock. We're really hoping that everybody brings their lawn chairs and comes out. And there will be Alexander Zonchik and friends and two special guests. One is, and it's funny when I say these names, there are people who say, oh yeah, I know them. The first is Evan Garr, who does jazz on a violin.
Okay.
Which is quite remarkable. And then James Lloyd, who does keyboard jazz. So they're coming along as special guests, and then he'll be, of course, having his normal backup. And it should be a wonderful evening.
Previous years, how many years is the Jazz Festival going on now?
Last summer was supposed to be our 5th anniversary, and I started in January of 2020,
right,
making the big plans. We were going to have a big celebration. It was going to be bigger than ever. And then, of course, by March, it was
canceled.
Kind of. Yeah. We didn't know yet in March, and so we, paid attention, and then pretty soon knew that we weren't going to be able to do it. So last summer, we were able to still have, because of all the music that was in Palmer Park and the plaza, we were still able to have Alexander come down and do a short evening. This evening is that plus working our way back up to, and I really want to make this announcement, is that we are now planning our 5th annual Big Jazz Festival for next summer in 22. Doesn't that sound funny? It's like we've lost 2 years because of COVID. August 20th, and we hope that it's bigger and better than ever, and that we'll be back to normal then.
The previous 4 years, it was on a huge stage at the south end of the Palmer Park.
Yes.
Where is the venue this time?
We're using the county stage.
Oh, that's a great stage.
It is, and so we'll be where the county stage has been being set up for all of the other acts, and it'll be there, which makes it very convenient because people can just walk across the street or walk down Clinton, and that's a lot of food that is available. People can bring their own picnic baskets, and there's a new opportunity for a little drink.
Right.
And so they can do all of that. There's plenty of places to go get things and bring them across the street, or to bring your own. And we encourage people to come earlier, stay later. And I believe, I can't swear to this, but the St. Clair Chamber of Commerce, and here's my time to give them a little shout out, they've been responsible, along with other people who have been helping them.
Jeff Bowman.
Yes, absolutely, Jeff Bowman, and the people in the plaza. There has been a lot of money contributed and pooled together to bring in music. I think it's 5 days a week now, and twice on Saturday, twice on Sunday. So it's kept St. Clair alive in ways that other communities have just not been.
They've, I think the budget was close, approaching $160,000 for all of that music, which is wonderful, but it's very expensive. And they're going to hope to replicate that next summer. So if you have a checkbook handy, they will be happy to see you coming in the door.
They sure will. And now you've given my secret away. So when I go to people and I knock on their door, they're going to be ducking. But you won't have to duck until January of this next year. But that is absolutely true. We're trying to, and there's so many other things bubbling up. But the Chamber of Commerce has really worked hard to make sure that these kind of events are here and staying permanently
Yeah.
because it brings so much to the town and it helps those businesses, which is what the chamber does.
That's a great picture there of Palmer Park, the statue, or not a statue, but the what's the word?
The arch.
Arch.
Yes.
Where'd that word go? Oh, there it is. There's arch right there.
You're lucky I found it.
Right. With Alexander and James and Evan. And it really will be a good show. It's going to start at 5 in the afternoon. That's a good afternoon.
It is.
Until 8 o'clock on Saturday, August 21st. Alexander is such a character and such an entertainer. He's really a wonderful person.
He is. He's one of my favorite people. Every time I talk to him, I get a new story. But what I'd like to say about him especially is how hard for him and all other entertainers these last year and a half has been. It's been very difficult for them because the fact that he can't play means there's no sound, there's no lighting, printing. It is a huge industry that has been really hurt. So to be able to have all the music that we've had in St. Clair and to have this level of music is quite remarkable. And so we really want to encourage people to come out and take advantage of this because it's free.
Right.
That's quite remarkable. There's a lot of people that pay big money to hear him.
Yeah.
And he looks forward to our little town every year because he just loves it. He's loved it since he first played for the Art Association many years ago. And it was his idea, actually, to bring
Dave
something
Wilkie.
here.
That was my first interview with him. It was Dave Wilkie and Alexander Zonchek. That is just a classic interview.
I can only guess.
You can imagine.
Knowing them both, I can only
Right,
guess what
right.
that was like. Yeah.
What one wouldn't say, it was fantastic.
And all Alexander wants to do is come back and be on your cooking program again.
You're right. We'll have to revive the At the Market show just for
him.
Just for Alexander and for
He was
you.
ready to come, but just because he liked that so much. Our small town speaks to something in everybody. And so the people that come here following Alexander have always been impressed by what they find when they get here. The friendliness of the town, the accessibility, and certainly the beauty. This is the place to be.
Good. All right. So that is an evening of jazz, Saturday, August the 21st, 5 till 8.
Yes.
In the county stage.
Yes.
Rich downtown. You can't miss it. And it's Alexander Zonchek and Friends.
Yes.
Now, your second hat is
Habor Impact Ministries.
Impact. What's that all about?
Well, there's a long story. I'm not going to do that to you.
We'll do the Reader's Digest version.
All right, Reader's Digest version.
Except our young audience has no idea what Reader's Digest
They don't.
short version is.
That's true. I've got one right at home right now. There was a Methodist church in Port Huron. Bridge was going to Canada, eliminated that church. Instead of rebuilding, those wonderful people decided they were going to create a ministry.
Oh.
They bought an elementary school in Port Huron that was no longer being used. They hold church in their gym, but the rest of the school has been turned into Habor Impact. And I am a board member, but I say this with great humility. I'm a new board member, and I can't take credit for what they've managed to produce in 11 years. They serve, even throughout the pandemic, they figured out a way to serve families. 300 to 500 families a month make their way there, and they can get everything. And I had to write it down because there's so many things. You can go to Habor Impact for food.
Okay.
They have that, but they also have a baby pantry for diapers and baby things. They have something called Bare Necessities, which are personal items for people, and it's in each of the individual classrooms, so that's the way they're used. They have even a room for birthdays, so that people who need things to provide their children with a birthday or their family member with a birthday party. They have a man cave. They offer health services. They have a place that you can go and get dog and cat food because
that stuff's expensive.
It is, and even if you are, suffering many hardships, that's one you don't want to have to suffer, is to have to not be able to care for your pet. They have another one that's this and that. They have a toy room. They have women and youth. They have a resource center where there's teaching that goes on, tutoring, computer use classes, and other services, depending on need. So, Paul, if you went there and you have plenty of food, but you have another need, that is a place you can go, and they will figure out how to provide for that need or get you to where you need to be.
Is it a non-denominational or is it still Methodist?
The church is the Free Methodist Church, but the services are, you could go, I could go, anybody could go. There's no litmus test. And so they just reach out to the community. And throughout the pandemic, they were even, you might have seen some of the trucks, they had big trucks and they were doing food pop-ups where anybody who showed up could have food. They've been all over and have done remarkable things.
You mentioned one of the items was a man cave. What's in the man cave?
Clothing.
I mean, shirts and pants and ties. Nobody wears a tie anymore, but
you might if you need a tie for a job interview.
Okay.
And so that's where you would go. It's so remarkable, and that's really what I'm here to talk about, is not about Habor Impact Ministries, because you aren't familiar with it. So in talking, they decided that they wanted to do an open house, and that's for two reasons. One is to make sure that you know it exists, so that when you hear of people,
I didn't know it.
That's exactly right, and it serves all of St. Clair County. So that you can tell somebody, hey, I know someplace you can go.
Similar to a Kids in Distress, but on a different level.
Much bigger.
Much bigger.
It is like our ecumenical food pantry that is here in St. Clair. It's like Kids in Distress. It's like the Mid-City Nutrition that provides food every day. This does not have that kind of service, but it has everything else. But if you don't know how to write a resume, and there's a job coming up, they will help you do that. It's remarkable, all the things that they do very quietly. So the open house is Saturday, August 21st. Unfortunately, I'm going to be two places.
Yeah.
From 3 to 8.
That's why you got two hats.
Yeah, I'm just switching them.
Right.
But there will be tours of Habor Impact, and I can't stress enough the importance of going to see what they do. It's quite remarkable. And there's going to be a battle of the bands. There's going to be free food and ice cream.
Free hot dogs, ice cream, and lemonade.
And a food truck. And so that if there's something else that you'd like to purchase, you can. But you can go there without a nickel in your pocket and have a lot of fun. Games, surprises, prizes. So again, the reason is, first of all, to widen the net to capture people who might need those services. But the second thing is so that people understand how they might help this organization, because of course they would love to get checks. Right now they're trying to find the money to build or to buy an additional refrigeration, freestanding refrigeration outside, because they often get produce and eggs and things like that they have no places that they can keep, so they have to turn something down. Their goal, of course, is that, especially as unemployment is running out for people and the monies that were given to support people during COVID, there will be an uptick of need, and people will need to find their way there, and so they know that the numbers that they're seeing right now will probably increase, and they want to be prepared and ready to do that. So you can donate items. I'm going to give you a phone number for that, but you can actually donate items to the organization. You can give them money. You can also show up and just be a volunteer. And I can't say enough about what a fulfilling experience that is.
The address is 1963 Allen Road in Kimball.
It is.
So what school was it?
I don't know.
Well, that was a funny name.
You'd think a teacher for 44 years might pay attention to the name. I don't know what the name of it was.
But it was in the Port Huron school system.
It is. It's in one of the kind of residential areas in there. It's easy to get to. You go out Griswold, and it's on Allen Road, right off Griswold. So it's very easy to get to. Great parking. Is the phone number up there?
No.
Let me give you the phone number, because this is real important.
I'm ready.
It's 810
right.
662 3936. You can arrange
662 3936.
Yes, and they take furniture, they take clothing, they take anything you want to give. They love fresh produce, eggs. A lot of people are having extra in their gardens, and they certainly love some money too. But they also love to see bodies show up that help, and that's really fun. A lot of churches in the area are helping this ministry. It seems to be an easy fit. And for instance, I attend the First Congregational Church of St. Clair. We're a small church, small community. But when we heard about this, we decided not only to give money, but we send a team of people there who are there regularly and religiously to help produce this, because we couldn't do it ourselves. It's way too big. But we can be a small part of this, and that's how I got involved, and eventually they asked me to be on the board, and I so appreciate that. But again, I want to say I've had nothing to do with what they've managed to produce. That they have two co-directors, Barb Haneke and Michael Weaver, and a great group of people on the board, and great support volunteers, and they have done this. I'm just speaking for it, but
And you do well, speaking.
I can't take credit for any of it, but they are sure good.
Okay, and it's the same day. It's a busy day for you.
It is.
Saturday the 21st, and this is that one is from 8 or 2 o'clock till 8.
Yes.
And then the Jazz Festival in St. Clair is from 5 to 8. So you're going to be tired by 9.
I don't ever get tired. Do you get tired, Paul? I'm not tired. I'm looking at that day as being a very fulfilling and fun day.
Yes.
The Harbor Impact is a great one to take your kids to, because there's going to be lots of things for kids to do. And then to top it off with a little music in St. Clair would be a great way to spend a day.
It's a great way to spend a day.
Yeah, absolutely.
Pat O'Connor, we salute you for all your activities and what you do for the community, and for everybody else. It's great to see you doing it.
Thank you.
We're glad
Paul.
to help you promote any of it.
Thank you. You always are.
Well, that's good. We'll have you back many times. As soon as you get some new hats. You need another hat for another committee.
I'll find one.
You'll find a hat. That's about it for this edition of the Focus program, along with Pat O'Connor. Until next time, I'm Paul Dingeman. Thanks for watching. See you soon.
Thank you, Paul. That was really nice.
Thanks for watching Focus with Paul Dingeman. Focus is produced at the CTV Community Television Studios in St. Clair. For over 20 years, CTV has captured the moments that matter to our community.